Hi. Good evening, everyone. It is Workforce Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. It is our Money Making May series dealing with everything pertaining to your finances, credit, banking, um, life insurance, all the things that you need to make sure your money is good. So tonight we have all the lovely folks from SparkPoint Solano. So I'm going to just read their amazing bios and then I'm going to give the floor to them. So we have Zaida Mora. She is the site coordinator for the SparkPoint program at Fighting Back Partnership, a nonprofit organization dedicated to strengthening communities. With a BA in Ethnic Studies, concentrating in Chicano Latino Studies, and a minor in social work, Zaida brings both academic knowledge and lived commitment to her work. Fully bilingual and deeply passionate about helping others, she supports individuals and families in achieving financial stability and long-term success. So give it up for Zaida. All right, next is Johnny Seymour. He is from the Bay Area, currently based in Sacramento. He brings extensive experience in workforce development and customer service, currently serving as the employment coordinator at SparkPoint Solano under Dreamcatchers Employment Network, a role he has held for the past 5 years. Prior to this, Johnny worked as a supervisor at the Home Depot. His career reflects a passion for helping individuals gain stability and thrive through meaningful work. Welcome, Mr. Johnny. And last but not least is Ms. Carol Lee Burse. She is the program director and co-founder of Life on Track, bringing over 20 years of experience in the financial industry as a certified credit counselor and credit report specialist. Carol Lee empowers individuals through credit education and personalized financial strategies, helping them take meaningful steps toward a debt-free future. Ooh, Ms. Carol Lee, I need you. She has dedicated the past 14 years to serving as a financial coach with SparkPoint Solano, where she provides one-on-one coaching, credit counseling, and expert guidance on credit reports. Through her deep expertise in strategic partnerships, Carolee is committed to helping people build lasting financial stability. So this is the panel we need. So thank you, Ms. Carolee, and the entire SparkPoint team. Everyone is trying to get their money right. They want to live good lives. They want to drive well, live well, all the things that we need credit for. And sometimes that needs some rebuilding or maybe just some tweaks here and there. So without further ado, the floor is yours. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, when I'm hearing you say our bio, I was thinking about something very professional and, explaining who we are. But in reality, we are just here to help and support everyone the best that we can. And, we're here breaking cycles and, trying to get our families, our communities into a better place. So I'm, again, I'm Zaida Mora, and I am the site coordinator for SparkPoint Solano. And go back. And I focus more in the Vallejo community, but overall, we all Solano County. So I'm going to give a little bit of information about our background, our little history about SparkPoint. So SparkPoint is a program that is launched by United Way of the Bay Area. And it's a program where it's meant to serve clients into like a one-stop shop kind of deal where you would walk in and get multiple services in one spot. In Solano County, we have a total of 3 offices here. So we have one in Vallejo, which is where I'm at, and I am housed at Fighting Back Partnership, which is the Family Resource Center. We also have a site in Fairfield, which is at Anna Kyle Elementary School and at the Solano Community College. So you'll be able to meet with our staff there if needed. And if you want to meet us in person, we will be there. And overall, we have a total of 25 centers throughout the Bay Area. The very first one that opened was in Oakland in 2009, and then Solano County opened their first office in 2011. So I'm going to skip through this really quick, but what we'll go over briefly would be like what people face today and what's available to you as a client if you decide to join our SparkPoint program. And how do you become a client, right? So you can get the help with our credit counselor or employment specialist. So these are the common problems that we normally see. And these are 4 problems, right? So the first one is that people are not making enough money, right? So it's just hard to live basic living expenses. The second one is having too much debt. So it's hard to make payments and stay up on track with your credit, right? And the third one is I have a low to no credit score. And as people are seeing more and more, getting housing is really difficult when you have a really bad credit score or no credit score. And our employment specialist will tell you that employers are also checking your credit. So even though, like, for example, with me, I grew up knowing nothing about credit. And if I talked about credit, we didn't want to, we're like, no, 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 don't get a credit card. Don't do that. Don't do this. But now as I'm older, I see how important credit is. So now not only is it affecting our housing, it's also affecting our employment. So it's important to, get that going at a young age. But people are realizing that that's having a low credit score is affecting them. And the last one is having no savings, right? So emergency happens. We saw it with COVID. People were left without jobs, were having no income to pay for their basic living expenses. So that's why it's important to have those savings in place for an emergency. Now with SparkPoint, the whole idea is that you don't have to do it alone, right? We will be with you every step of the way. And that's by providing you with the knowledge, the power, and the resources to get you there. And we're coaching you. So you're making the decisions, you're making your goals, and we're here supporting you every step of the way. And you'll hear us talk all the time about goals, setting them. If it needs to get changed, we're willing to help you change those. If you want to revisit something, that's why we're here for our clients, to support them with that process. Now with SparkPoint, we talk about building blocks of success. And what that means is that everyone is at a different stage in life. People might be working at trying to buy a home, right? So what steps do you need to do to get you to buy that house, right? Or people are just trying to save up for a retirement. So what do you need to do to get there? So that's why we talk about building blocks of success. And it could be smaller goals, right? It could be just that you want to get employment. So what is it that you need to do to get there? So we will talk about building blocks of success when you're working with our employment specialist or credit counselor, or even myself. So with SparkPoint, the approach is that, again, like I mentioned, it's one-on-one, and we'll be working with you to meet those goals that you're trying to accomplish. And the reason why we do one-on-one is because everyone is different. Everyone has a different lifestyle. So we like to work with our clients one-on-one so we can address your goals and see where you're at, right? So we go over your dreams, your goals, and then we'll link you directly to our staff, which is the credit counselor or employment specialist, to get you to get the work or get the services that you're looking for. Sorry, I'm getting a little stuttery now. And accountability too, it's major, right? Because I don't know if anyone has ever said this or tried it, but I know I said this a million times when I try to join the gym, right? I said, I'll go, and I'll go. And I sign up and I never go. So it's important to hold us accountable, right? So then that way you can get to the goals that you're trying to accomplish. And that's why we're here for to support our clients. Now, working with our financial coach, which would be with myself or the site coordinator from the Fairfield office, we're the ones that get you started, right? So we'll talk to you about your goals. We link you to the credit counselor or employment specialist and to additional resources. So I mentioned earlier that I am also part of Fighting Back Partnership, which is our family resource center, and they provide other resources to families or individuals in need. So that's another reason why I like to mention them, because sometimes people are coming across a situation where they might need a resource, so we can link you to them. Or let's say if you're in the college too and you might need some resources there, we connect you to someone there or help you navigate through that process. Now, while you're working with us, we also monitor progress and to see where you're at, right? So every 3 months, we check in with you to see how you're going, if you need to get reconnected, or if you need to reset goals. So that's why it's important to meet with the financial coaches as well. Now I'll let Carolee talk a little bit about her section.
Welcome. I'm Carolee Burse, the certified credit counselor for SparkPoint Solano. And if working with me, it's one-on-one counseling with a credit counselor, which is me. And we also have Elia, who's our bilingual certified credit counselor. And we'll take a look, you know, first and foremost, you're going to set your goals. Because like Zaida said, that's real important. So we can see, you know, what your goals are and walk you through it. And for you to achieve each goal. And then we'll take a look at your credit, see where you're at. If that's one of your goals, to look at work on your credit and debt, and look at the credit report. And a lot of times the credit reports there could be different ones, and it's great to learn how to read them as well, the language of the credit bureaus. And then what is your credit score and what does it mean? So there's a lot of credit education involved, and I feel that's empowering as well, and knowledge. Build or rebuild your credit depends on where you're at. Do you have to rebuild it because of everything that has happened to your credit? Or are you just starting out with no credit or a little bit of credit, and we need to work on building it? Learn your rights as a consumer. Fair Credit Report, Credit Billing Act, Fair Credit Reporting Act, and the Fair Debt Collection Practices. And like I said, there's a whole umbrella of information for credit, debt, collections, and you learn it all. And it's one-on-one, and you will always have an appointment on the calendar from the first appointment all the way till you are done with SparkPoint, and there's no time. And you go on your own pace. No rush. You can't rush credit. It's a process. And also work on budgeting and savings is real important as well.
Thank you, Carol. And I want to add something too. You know, growing up, you don't really get educated on the credit or finances or even budgeting. So it's important to start this early versus waiting till the end when you're stuck, right? Or now you're in crisis and you need this support. So it's always good to know, even though maybe you might think, oh, you know, I don't need credit right now. It's still good to know what will happen once you start building that credit and the importance of it. So yes.
Yeah.
So,
especially if you're young too, you're starting out new into this credit world. Like Zaida said, it's great to learn the education piece of it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Johnny Seymour, and I'm the employment coordinator for SparkPoint Solano. And what I do is I help people get prepared for employment. As you can see on the display, one of the things that I do is I help people with building a resume and cover letter. But if you already have those documents, we can make changes to possibly cater to a certain position, or just to kind of beef it up and make it look better for prospective employers. We also discuss and reframe job skills. And what that is kind of seeing where you're at the point and where you want to be. Now, if it's employment that you've had before, then maybe we'll just try to use those skills and make them look a little bit sharper. But if not, if you're looking for something new, then we will look for resources that could help you gain what it is, the skills that you need to make that next step. We also do mock interviews, which is, I like to always state that it's a very popular part of the employment services, as we all know that interviews can be quite intimidating. And once you've had practice a little bit, it can be very, very much easier. And then there's 24/7 online access to job search sites and re-energizing your job search. And what that basically is having two pairs of eyes on that job search. It'll be not only you looking for employment, but it'll be myself as well. And at certain times, we might get leads from people that we partner with, like the EDD office or workforce development, or some of our other partners, and they'll give us leads for other jobs that might not actually be advertised. And then they give us information on other things too, such as like job fairs and workshops, or free classes that could benefit you in your job search by putting that class on your resume. And as Zaida stated, credit scores are actually very important. We like to let our employment clients know that your credit score could be very important in your job search, because it went from just a few years ago, it went from 51% of employers checking your credit score before they employ you. Now it's more like 60%. So just know that your credit score could be very, very important in your job search. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. So we do these two services, they go hand on hand with each other. So, and it's important, you know, when it comes to becoming a little bit more stable, right? And increasing your finances. So this is pretty much what we like to say success looks like within our program. Everybody thinks different, right? But in our program, we hope to get you here to having self-sufficient income, right? Having debts that are less than 40% of your gross income, reaching a 700 credit score. And some people might say different, right? Some people might think a good credit score might be 650, right? But we hope to get you to a 700 credit score and having a 3-month savings. And that's just to help you in case something happens. Again, I'm going to use the COVID example again, right? So having that emergency savings for any situation that was to come. So you have that money to cover you for basic living expenses. Now, it does take time to reach your goals. I compare this all the time to losing weight. So with our program, we're here with you and we support you throughout the whole entire process, but you have to really be patient with ourselves and even with yourself. And the reason to that, it's because, you know, nothing happens overnight. It takes time. So I'll give an example with employment, right? You might be working with Johnny for about a month and you might not hear back from any employer. So you might have to wait until the second month to hear back from someone. So it's just being patient, right? And we'll be here with you every step of the way. Being persistent. So facing the truth, even though if it's ugly, we're here to support you. We're not here to judge you at any point. We're just here to help you reach those goals and find the motivation to keep you going, which is really important. And being realistic. And what that means is just forming one habit at a time, because if you start doing too much, you fall down and you're not going to be able to reach those goals. So we're here with you and just, you know, forming one habit at a time to not feel overwhelmed. Now, how do you become a client? Just really briefly, we do go over a baseline appointment where we'll go over income, savings, and assets and debt. All the services are completely free. We will never charge you for any of the services that we have within our program. And all the information that you give us is always confidential. And I'm going to skip through this really quick and this part too, but I do want to mention that we do follow-ups every 90 days, and that is with myself or with our financial coach in Fairfield. And but you're also working in the meantime with our service provider, so with either Carolee or Johnny. And it's important to do those follow-ups because it keeps track of where you're at, and if you need to make changes or adjustments, or if you need to revisit something that might not be working right. So we're here to support you and help you figure that out. And I do want to add really quick, aside from the services that we provide, we all are under different agencies. So I am, like I mentioned earlier, I am under Fighting Back Partnership. So if there's someone who also needs support with, if you have children under the age of 18 and need some resources, we can connect you to those. Or if you're a father and you need some support group, right? We also have a Nurturing Fathers group that is a 13-week program. And that empowers our fathers to either, be a better father or find skills to, become a better father. And then it's a good support group. And it is, I believe, every Wednesdays in the afternoons. We also have a Elevate Youth Solano, which is a program for youth, and it's for grades 9 through 11. Carolee is under Life on Track. So I don't know if Carolee, you want to talk a little bit of that?
Life on Track is a nonprofit that works with individuals on their financial whatever their, their credit, debt. There may be, you want to open up a checking account, savings account, work with you on that as well. Educating you on different products from the banks and traditional banking and nonprofits, but it's a financial literacy agency that helps those that that wants to, better their lives and learn more on the financial world.
And the good part of that too is that while you're a SparkPoint client working with Carolee, you get those services too, right, Carolee?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
Yes. And then Johnny, I don't know if he's still there, but he's also part of Dreamcatchers. So I don't know if Johnny, you want to explain a little bit of Dreamcatchers?
Sure. So Dreamcatchers, what they do is basically the same thing I do as far as employment services. They help people to gain employment. The only difference is with Dreamcatchers, you would have to go through the Department of Rehabilitation, and then you would get assigned to a Dreamcatchers employment specialist. And the Department of Rehabilitation, you basically would have to have a legitimate disability, and then they would be able to refer you to Dreamcatchers.
And I think it's always important to explain to you who are our partner agencies, because there's more services that you might benefit upon, joining our program too. So I have our information up. So if you are interested in becoming a SparkPoint client and getting the education on credit or improving your credit, or if you want to get help with employment, you can call any of these numbers. Usually if anyone is in Fairfield, Rio Vista, Vacaville, Dixon area, you would call the Fairfield number. And then I cover mainly Vallejo and Benicia area. But if you are a student attending the Solano Community College, there's also that number that you can reach out to set up an appointment. Does anyone have any questions? And I know it's a lot of information all at once, but we tried our best to give you a little bit of what we do within our program.
Indeed. Thank you, Zaida. Thank you, Carolee. Thank you, Johnny. You guys came through with so much information about how people can improve their finances and their credit, and the way that you all are able to support. We will definitely have your information listed for our participants who may be interested, and I'm sure we will connect again. Are there any additional questions before we move forward or close out our evening, or any final comments?
I just want to say that we also not only do we can do in person, but we also offer virtual as well, because it's real convenient for the client when there's no transportation or their schedules. We have clients at lunchtime that will do a Zoom just to keep going with the services.
I love that.
Yeah. We try to be flexible with our clients, especially if we see that they're really motivated to make that change. So we do our best.
That's awesome, meeting clients where they are. And sometimes it is convenient for them to be able to do it from home or whatever their situations may be. But thank you, Zaida. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Carolee. We sincerely appreciate you for joining our Money Making May series. And I will be in contact. And if all hearts are cleared, have a good night. See you next week.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Miss Zaida, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys offer a lot of services. I might have to read some of the things.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention too that we serve anyone over the age of 18 in Solano County.
Anyone 18 and older. Okay, no worries. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe in the future we can kind of think ahead about, I know one of the things you touched on is how they're not taught about credit in school. Yeah. Like it's not anything that's really taught. And so like that would be great. Let me mute her. Faith, did you have a question? Just mute that.
Sorry, that was on accident.
Oh, okay, no worries. It's just how it's not taught in school, so maybe kind of moving forward, that might be something that we can kind of touch on, figuring out how to kind of come up with something for the younger youth that we
Yes.
serve, who we may want to just kind of educate about credit and what that looks like.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Zaida, I sincerely appreciate you. I hope you have a great night. Thank you for staying late.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having us.
I appreciate it.
All right.
You're welcome,
bye-bye.
Zaida. You have a good night.
You too.
Okay.